Hey, Liminal Dad here. Just got home from work, kind of tipsy, had a few beers. Anyway, I just started watching this thing. I was just like, you know what, maybe I should make a reaction video. It's, goddamn, what is it? A horror masterclass? Something about the back rooms. Let's see here.
Parsons, who just a few years ago
The back rooms are very, very real. The liminal turn nightmare masterclass. That's what it is. Nightmare masterclass. All right, let's get back to it.
is uploading found footage short films from his bedroom, will have a feature film in theaters produced by A24 and none other than James Wan himself. It is particularly notable since Parsons just 20 years old. The film hits theaters May 29th. Meanwhile, the liminal space concept has metastasized across the gaming landscape. The Exit 8 turns a looping Japanese subway corridor into an anomaly hunting puzzle. Conversely, Pool
I'm going to skip forward a little bit. Let's see what we got here.
And epochal condition all at once.
This guy's already annoying me.
Liminal online. The airport at 2 in the morning, an empty school hallway in July, the carpeted hinterland outside the conference center where no one really congregates because the coffee urns have been wheeled away hours ago. It's perhaps fair to say the word liminal.
It's like the no pause, no period, no punctuation method, I guess.
Has been greatly diluted by overuse at this point, but its resonance persists for a reason. Liminality is what defines this particular cultural moment. These images linger in the public imagination because they mirror a shared sense that history itself has stalled out, and we're now on the side of the road in the cold, wondering when the tow truck will get here. Symbolically, we are suspended in the same transitory space that
And this guy, I guess what's annoying to me about this guy is that it's like he's got this pattern of just like using the perfect verbiage, almost too perfect, and then to where it almost sounds like scientific, but not. Just like, wow, how did he just write the perfect script? But then he'll throw in like a little folksy thing every it's like a pattern. It's like perfect verbiage, scientific, and then up folksy, for perfect verbiage, scientific, then up folksy, perfect verbiage, scientific, folksy. I mean, this is going to annoy me, I think.
Mental imagery conveys. Not quite departure, not quite arrival, but the prolonged twilight between well-defined eras. The post-war boom and whatever the hell is coming next. This liminal feeling is both
this is so casual
and epochal condition all at once. The dead corridor, the humming atrium, the fluorescent afterglow. This imagery doesn't just depict emptiness per se. It's not really about the void. Rather, these scenes elicit the feeling of suspension as such. It should come as no surprise then that endless office corridors assembled from commercial detritus are the...
Come on, just please insert a period. Just insert a period, take a breath, okay? Jesus fucking Christ.
New visual when it comes to creepy imagery online. Even the impossible blueprint of the backrooms is just this intuition, this vague sense that we're stuck in an ambiguous moment between two coherent states, pushed to an absolutely absurd conclusion. It's circulation with nowhere to go.
Whoa. Oh, okay. He's just transitioning to a new segment. The Dead Mall.
Dead Mall imagery formed as a kind of visual language long before anyone had a chance to place it in any particular analytical framework. The Dead Mall aesthetic is built from slabs of concrete, a distinct sense of vacancy, and the eerie sensation of muzak echoing off tile. If you were online at the right moment in the 2010s, of course you watched Dan Bell drift through the hollowed out shells of these once busy complexes with the studied concentration of someone inventorying a lost memory as opposed to, say, a property listing or an asset on a spreadsheet. All at once, it seemed like we collectively realized that an index of absence.
You know what? He's inserting pauses in in the middle of sentences. He's not adding. There's no period. There's no pause between sentences. It's just like it's just like some kind of like a fake like contemplating. Like, what am I gonna say next? No, there's no. You don't. You're reading a script and you don't know when to put a pause.
Is more symbolically truthful than any glossy brochure of presence. And we learned that even documentation can be elegiac, which is to say, mournful for an irrecoverable past, but in this case, also possessing the distinct quality of lacking resolution or catharsis. This architecture has now outlived the particular.
You know, I don't even get me started about people who use the word cathartic or catharsis. I mean, words have functions, and I realize that, and that people think that they want to try to use words at the right time to convey some kind of meaning, but there's just a particular kind of asshole who wants to use the word cathartic and catharsis. And you know what? They're a nicer person than I am, but they're still an asshole.
Historical arrangement of society that initially gave it cultural context and meaning. To experience these interiors now is to encounter a haunting remainder that strangely refuses to be repurposed, at least for the time being. It just sits there, reminding us.
Man, it's just like, God, what a terrible script. The remainder. I mean, and you know what the sad thing is that this is probably extremely relatable to maybe the younger generation. I don't know. I mean,
what was and what could have been. There are a few notable quantitative anchors for the dead mall phenomenon. Industry sources disagree on the exact count, definitions vary, and of course the ground keeps shifting under our feet. But a 2024 article puts the total.
You know, what is it? What is he doing? Sorry, I dropped the remote. What is it? Oh, I gotta nail this down. What is the manner that he's speaking in? Jaded news anchor, jaded news anchor, just like news anchor from. He's like the news anchor, the correspondent from 2056. This is just the new. This is how humans have evolved. This is what they've evolved to. You know, just been so desensitized and jaded and language is exponentially because of the internet and being connected, and it's just all kind of exponentially evolved into this manner of speaking that you can't. I mean, the funny thing about it is that you can pay attention to it, but you can't pay attention to it at the same time. I guess that makes it kind of interesting or unique, technically. That you can pay attention to it and understand everything he's saying, but not pay attention to it and not give a fucking shit about what he's saying at the same time. Is that brilliant, or is that just fucking stupid? I don't know.
number of operating American malls at around 700. That's a steep decline from the late 20th century peak. Even the rosiest reports acknowledge a long contraction marked by a widening gap. A handful of high-performing Class A centers remain profitable, while most second-tier properties drift hopelessly toward obsolescence. That divide organizes both the landscape in physical terms and the popular imagination in ideological terms. Images of deserted food courts or shuttered anchor stores give
Put a
shape
fucking
to a
period on it.
sneaking suspicion people live with but rarely articulate out loud. At its
Is
height,
it
the
too
suburban
loud?
mall supplied a set of hidden functions that were indeed civic in everything but name. A climate-controlled space for idle wandering, a zone of semi-supervised autonomy for teenagers, an architecture that stitched together errands, flirtation, and boredom into a distinct routine. If you're looking for a recognizable label, third places would be the keyword-optimized way to describe
Would be the key. 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 He's got that it's like a perpetual shake in his voice. Would be the key. Would be the key. Would be the key. It's like a little emasculated goat. I mean, you don't even think about a goat having balls.
this phenomenon.
I gotta hear that again.
Habermas's
It's so
politely
mild.
idealized
And
public
what?
sphere was never
Who's this?
really located here, but for
Wait
a
a
lot
second.
of suburban kids, the mall was the closest thing
Come
they
on.
got
What are
to
you
a
doing?
public interior. Now that malls are dying, this
What?
precise anxiety has gotten flattened
I
into
gotta
the
get.
common sentiment that third
Okay,
places are
sorry.
dying, man. At its core,
Whoa,
it's the
wait a
pervasive
second.
sense that
Okay, I've got to get
locations
back
where
to
you could
this. I've
simply
got to get back to
exist
this.
and perhaps even socialize with
What are you
peers
doing? I'm
without
trying
being
to.
strictly at home or strictly at work
Okay.
are now
Okay, there's too much. I gotta see. Would be the key.
a climate-controlled space for idle wandering, a zone of semi-supervised autonomy for teenagers,
wandering.
an architecture that stitched together errands, flirtation, and boredom into a distinct routine. If you're looking for a recognizable label, third places would be the keyword-optimized way to describe this phenomenon. To be sure,
I gotta see. I gotta hear it again.
politely idealized
Oh, come on.
a zone of semi-supervised autonomy for teenagers, an
Autonomy
architecture
for
that stitched together
teenagers.
errands, flirtation,
Autonomy for teenagers. Autonomy for teenagers. Autonomy for teenagers. Autonomy for teenagers.
boredom into a distinct routine. If you're looking for a recognizable label,
you're looking for
third places would be the keyword-optimized way to describe this phenomenon. To be sure, Habermas's politely idealized public sphere was never really located here, but for a lot of suburban kids,
I guess
the
that's
mall was
who
the
that guy is.
closest thing they got to a public interior. Now that malls are dying,
Inferior.
this precise anxiety has gotten
A public inferior. Inferior. Okay.
into the common sentiment that third places are dying, man. At its core, it's the
There you go. There's the folksy. That third places are dying, man. Third places are dying, man. Third places are dying, man. Would be the key. Third places are dying, man. Would be the key. Hey, third places are dying, man. Third place would be the key.
sense that locations where you could simply exist and perhaps even socialize with peers without being strictly at home or strictly at work are now subject to entropic processes beyond anyone's control. Dead mall footage gradually became a kind of vernacular training in how to register the gradual disappearance of that very social function. At first, the camera just documents. Thus, we get long takes of atriums watched in late afternoon light, escalators frozen mid-ascent, wayfinding signs pointing towards tenants that no longer inhabit the space.
What is it? It's like
really
some kind of
lead you to wonder, where did all the petty bourgeois?
I mean, it's it's like some kind of a malfunctioning droid 300 years in the future that's got some kind of a script that he's trying to relay, and you know you it's like you pity the droid. You know, it's like it's on some kind of a transport junk ship, and it's partially ripped apart, and it's you know, like wires are sticking out. I mean, obviously there's some Star Wars imagery I'm evoking here, but you know, and he's yeah, it's some kind of broken down droid that is both charming and pathetic. You know, the droid is both charming and pathetic. Pity the droid telling the story from, it's like, oh, this is a story from hundreds of years ago. It's meaningless to us now. Oh, God.
Shopkeepers go exactly. Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right.
If you watch enough of these dead mall videos, the repetition does something interesting. It teaches viewers that the choreography, the various paths you're meant to walk in these spaces, was never incidental. Look at it this way. A mall begins as a stack of leases, a legal inscription of who is allowed to sell what and on what terms. The layout then translates that inscription into an implicit script for how people are meant to move, dwell, and encounter one another at scale.
Yeah.
When the financial model
Makes perfect
erodes
sense, man.
and the script breaks down, the residual building becomes a vestigial island of awkward semi-functionality, the coccyx of consumer
Jesus,
capitalism.
God
Partially
damn.
occupied.
Okay, let's listen to that mouthful again. I mean, it's just like pointless mouthful. That makes perfect sense. No, I mean, it's like he had to say that because that's the best, most concise way to get that point across.
Where did all the petty bourgeois shopkeepers
where did all the
go exactly?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
If you watch enough of these dead mall videos, the repetition does something interesting. It teaches viewers that the choreography, the various paths you're meant to walk in these spaces, was never incidental. Look at it this way. A mall begins as a stack of leases, a legal inscription of who is allowed to sell what and on what terms. The layout then translates that inscription into an implicit script for how people are meant to move, dwell, and encounter one another at scale. When the financial model erodes and the script breaks down, the residual building becomes a vestigial island of awkward semi-functionality, the coccyx of consumer capitalism. Partially occupied, but generally unmoored from anyone's lived experience, save for maybe the security guards that are paid subsistence wages. Oh, fuck, I gotta. Abandoned structures.
Oh, god damn, man.
Earlier movements that treated walking.
I just gotta. Fuck, I was trying to demonstrate vestigial. Oh, let's see if I can do it here. Hang on. This refers to vestigial. Oh man, this guy's too much. This guy's too much. If it's even a human being.
Observing as methods. Situationist psychogeography, structural film, not to mention the slow documentary, defined by its long take methodology. The dead mall aesthetic inherits that lineage, even if it's never explicitly acknowledged by the various influencers who now make a living traversing these spaces. The camera is never neutral. It's always doing a kind of low-key forensic work, dutifully cataloging what's left of an eroding social function that no longer has a stable economic justification. Threaded through this atmosphere of erosion is a subtle but important counterpoint. Many of these buildings are not truly abandoned, and some have stabilized into new configurations that perhaps even approximate vitality. The commercial real estate press, desperate as it often is to spin stability out of attrition, occasionally does capture something real. Class A.
Spin stability out of attrition. I mean, it's just, you know, it's just one mouthful out of another. I mean, after another with this guy, which is fine. It's like what he's saying everything perfectly. There's nothing wrong with what he's doing. This is the best way to say it. It's the most condensed, concise way, and it makes it makes perfect sense. There's no better way to do it.
Malls with rising lease rates, mixed-use conversions that bring in foot traffic without necessarily restoring all of the old routines, the experiential turn that swaps department stores for climbing walls and craft breweries. Nature is healing,
Craft
or so the
breweries.
headline implies.
What was that?
These
What is that? Was that a
examples
little?
are total fabrication.
Was that a little nervousness like what do you when you say craft breweries, like my mommy told me not to drink beer? I don't know.
They do, in fact, represent actual reallocations of both capital and attention, but they do not undercut the cultural force of the dead mall image or the liminal edit. On the contrary, they further sharpen it. The visual grammar that circulates online.
Visual grammar.
belies a
I
theory
don't know.
about
I don't think I can finish this. I don't think I can finish this. I mean, it's just going to be more of the same. I mean, what's his name? Nightmare Masterclass. How can you pay attention? How can something force you to pay close attention and make you not pay attention at all at the same time? I don't know. I think I'm done with this. I'm not even. Oh shit! It's 39 minutes. I'm 10 minutes in. You know what? I'm gonna scan forward just to see. Oh well, let's see. Just to see what happens here. I mean,
the janitor, the line cook, the person repairing the escalator in the dead mall, their labor power is inherently bound to specific physical locations. When we talk about life stages that no longer arrive on schedule, starter uncanniness so much as from how obvious they are. And
oh my god, maybe I shouldn't have done this. All right, I'm done. I'm sorry. I apologize. Bravo, Nightmare Masterclass. You did good. I'm sure I just didn't get it or respond well to it. Goodbye.